And here we go now with Absolute Batman issue 23, part 2. And welcome back to the dissection table. Here we take the latest video games, trailers, comics, movies, and more, break them down bit by bit. And if you missed part 1 on issue 23, it'll be right before this video right here on the TikTok wing of the Asylum. And don't forget to check out the description down below where you'll find links that'll lead you to the other wings of the Asylum, including Kick, Twitch, and YouTube, where we have dedicated playlists of all the TikToks I've made on all the issues I've covered whenever it comes to the Absolute Universe, including Batman, and now that we've kicked off, Superman, and even Green Arrow as well. Now, without further ado, picking up where we last left off, we find that Bruce Wayne is down here in one of his many different little scattered locations. He doesn't have one dedicated Batcave. In the Absolute Universe, he has all these multiple little hideouts, but unfortunately for him, his friends ultimately find out exactly where he is. How they found out, we'll find out here in just a second. But yeah, the situation is a little tense because yes, these are his friends, but don't forget, he's got to be a little cautious, not because they've all transformed into their iconic, mainline DC comic book villain counterparts, Penguin, Riddler, Two-Face, and Killer Croc, but they're all compromised, as I explained before in the previous issue, part 1 of the issue 23. As it turns out, Jack Grimm, aka JK Industries, JK, just kidding, Joker, his whole company's called that. Yeah, as it turns out, as Batman discovered as he connected the dots, never came to the infamous day of what was ultimately took Bruce Wayne's father from him, of course, as we now know, back during the days of the zoo. Yeah, as it turns out, Bruce Wayne has actually connected the dots that even to this very day, Joker, aka Jack Grimm, aka JK Industries, still has a bit of a foothold in all of their lives. Many of the technologies used by the Riddler are connected to a company that are named after a famous clown, and that connects it back to Jack Grimm and the Joker. And the Penguin, many of the shell companies and transportation companies which he utilizes are also named after a famous clown. The shell company that he uses that is connected to that company named after a famous clown, which connects it back to, you guessed it, Jack Grimm. That's why Bruce Wayne right here is very upset with them just being here. Sure, they're his friends and he would like to trust them, but he can't trust them because they're compromised, like I said, because again, Jack Grimm, aka Absolute Joker, still has a foothold, a presence in all of their lives. And Waylon Jones is kind of rightfully justifiably a little pissed off over this whole entire statement of him saying something that outlandish, considering Waylon Jones effectively went to bat to defend him and basically bring everybody down here, because despite everything that's happened to them, especially Killer Croc in particular, but all of them, none of them are no absolute exception to that, because of all the horrifying things that happened to him, he has defended him again, Bruce Wayne, whenever it comes to the others, and, Riddler and everybody else, Penguin and Two-Face. But yeah, despite that, he's justifiably upset. So the situation is getting a little tense, especially when Alfred Pennyworth shows up down here with his mother, Martha Wayne. Dear patients of the Asylum, I have to warn you, this is where the writing really shines through whenever it comes to this particular issue, but also fair warning and advancement. His mother ultimately ends up doing here what she says, and again, what she does right here is textbook emotional manipulation, even if it's dimmed down just a little bit here. But this is going to be a sensitive subject for some of us, because right now, Bruce Wayne is a little ticked off. He's very upset that even Alfred Pennyworth is down here, even though they've worked together practically from the very first issue, and he accuses him of spying on him. I think that's a given, considering he's basically the Metal Gear, Snake from Metal Gear in the Absolute Universe. Of course he's going to be spying on you, but more importantly, his mother, Martha, goes on to explain right here that she was trying to help in her own unique way. That Jim, when they were kind of dating, kind of not, basically revealed to her through letters that, yes, Bruce Wayne was Batman. She knew, she didn't say anything. She also goes on to say right here that, her husband, his father, Bruce Wayne's father and everything, Thomas, is, not here anymore. But he knows otherwise. Bruce Wayne discovered, thanks to Scarecrow, that his father is alive. Can't trust his friends. He knows that his father is alive. And now his mother's right here. He knows that Alfred Pennyworth more than likely has been spying on him, like I said. All of this is boiling over. But more importantly, whenever it came to the whole entire evidence and everything, that all the detective work that our Batman has been doing right here, all roads seemingly point back to his mother and her time with the Court of Owls. Potentially, if Bruce Wayne, Batman is going to discover whatever the hell Jack Grimm is, which don't forget, on the surface, Jack Grimm, aka Absolute Joker, human on the outside, monstrous, evil, demonic clown on the inside. He needs to know what the court knows, and basically his only way to actually even discover where the hell the Court of Owls is, he needs Martha to start talking, but she's not saying jack shit. She goes on to explain right here, I'll tell you everything you want to know, but, and that's the key word right there, basically I know everything you want to know, but I'm not going to tell you until you jump through this hoop. You're his mother. You know that your son is this absolute just powerhouse of a vigilante who's standing between the only very paper-thin line of justice and absolute destruction for Gotham City. Yet you just don't want him to be angry right now? Grow up, be an actual parent, and more importantly, an actual hero yourself, having been a former member of the Court of Owls, and just tell him. He puts on his mask because he's done. You're not talking to your son Bruce Wayne right now, you're talking to Batman, and that's scary. Especially considering the moment he puts on that cowl, he actually almost takes out an entire concrete pillar behind her, furious that she's not talking. He's screaming, "Tell me, or God help you." Thankfully for her and everybody else here, Alfred Pennyworth has one of these, like, very exclusive, one-of-a-kind, one of, like, I think 12 legendary boomsticks in the Absolute Universe that got permanently, altered / kind of damaged by Bruce Wayne, turned it into a very powerful non-lethal weapon. In one shot is enough to put Bruce Wayne down for a moment, until he gets up and just walks away. Everybody is kind of like, just let him go. Riddler, Penguin, Two-Face, and Killer Croc, Alfred Pennyworth, nobody could have done anything to stop this guy. Even if Waylon Jones took off his amulet, turned into his Croc form, you're not stopping this guy right now. And I don't care what anybody says. His mother is being manipulative here. You need to tell him everything that you know because of your time with the Court of Owls. You're not, because why? Because she, like the court, is going to ultimately use and manipulate Bruce Wayne to take the fight to Joker. Because the Court of Owls are effectively on their last legs because of the fight, this war they waged against Jack Grimm and aka the Joker, in the shadows for God knows how long. His mother is using him to some kind of degree here. All of this is clearly weighing down on Bruce Wayne, so he just goes out onto the streets. Whenever we have one of our Robins, we have Jason Todd right here, the hotshot of the whole entire Robin crew, and he's out on patrol. He's hearing like reports of someone like looking like Batman with a battle axe. Probably not him, but then lo and behold, it is him, and Bruce Wayne Batman, he surrenders. Thanks to his mech, he fires off these bolus, trap wires and everything, captures Batman. He willingly lets himself get captured right here. And Jason Todd, he's celebrating. Tim Drake, like a moron, decides to go, also went out on patrol to join up with Jason Todd, and these two very young, naive orphans that have turned celebrities / soldiers of Gotham City are all celebrating. Oh, we got Batman! And unfortunately for them, whenever they're gloating, whenever they get on their phones, because, you gotta capture these moments and everything, that's when crows suddenly appear on the scene. And unfortunately, when those crows will arrive on the scene, that's obviously a calling card for Scarecrow, but not Scarecrow just this time, because as these two schmucks are basically on their Snapchat or whatever the hell, yeah, Clayface begins to emerge behind them. He emerges in the form of Absolute Batman, drops down and consumes both of them into his mass, into his body. Clayface only repeating what Batman screams back at him. He's toying with him with this demonic grin on his face, and unfortunately we see this very brief image of both of the Robins struggling for both fresh air and to escape free. But when ultimately Clayface makes his move, one of the Robins is unfortunately lost. Pissed beyond belief, Batman physically breaks free from his restraints, and this fight promptly gets kicked off right away. A fight that surprisingly is kind of evenly matched between the two of them. Clayface can't exactly put down Batman, but Batman can't exactly put down Clayface. Because of that, unfortunately, Clayface makes the tactical decision to retreat for now, despite Batman's protests. But this rematch will happen. With Clayface's retreat, Scarecrow's final taunting message to Batman, he unfortunately mourns the loss of this orphan of Gotham City turned soldier. Also got a little bit of symbolism going on right here as well, with Jason Todd absolutely furious over the loss of life whenever it comes to Tim Drake. Yes, we lost Tim Drake. Rest in peace. We're gonna miss you here in the Absolute Universe. So that'll do it for the breakdown. This time we kind of rush up the last very tail end of the comic right there, but that'll do it for the breakdown. Issue 23. If you enjoyed, please make sure to give me a follow, like, and a comment right over here, and definitely make sure you hit that follow so I can continue to keep you informed on all things video game trailers, comics, movies, more. And please check out the links down below and join in at the other wings of the Asylum. But again, hope you all enjoyed, and hope to see y'all in the next one.